All righty, let's do it. September 15th, 2019, coming at you live streaming. Gonna connect. We're in about a minute. Well, 1 o'clock. I'm on time for the 1 o'clock time. So, what's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Brian. I'm back to talk about a variety of things in this live stream. What's going on, guys? What's up, Lincoln, Sandra, Louie, and everybody joining me? Louie, right? Go Steelers, right? I don't know, Louie. It might be a tough year for you being a Steeler fan, but we'll have to see. Protected Lion, Derek Boyd, and everybody coming at you here. I'm excited to talk about The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and anything else you want to talk about. So I watched the episode last night with my wife, and it was all right. We'll talk about Season 5, Episode 14. We got 2 more episodes of the Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, and then we're back to The Walking Dead. I'm excited for it, guys. Tonight is episode 14, and we got 14, 15, and 16, and then it's October 6th, and here we go again talking about some Walking Dead stuff. I'm very excited about it. So what's going on with you guys? Top chat, super chat, always welcome on there too. Jimmy, shout out from Toronto. Very cool, very cool. So hopefully you guys are checking out Fear, checking out some football, checking out college football, whatever is going on with you. It's September 15th. And it'll be here before you know it, guys, you know. And I'm excited for everybody to be a part of the channel. Faith, we got Faith here. Faith is potentially going to be a person that may come up in the Fight for Us book series, a fighter. I'm excited to have that. I'm always excited for people to check out the book series. I'm loving it when people check out the book series and enjoy it and want to know what's going on with the next book and the next book and the next book on there too. You know, it's pretty awesome for everybody is there. Brenda, shout out from North Carolina. Pretty cool. So Mark, I guess, is leaving. He's been there. So see you next time. What's everybody doing? So Mark has a family outing he has to attend to. We just wanted to pop in and say hello. I appreciate it. Walking Dead family for life for sure. So if you guys haven't seen the episode, Season 5, Episode 14. It is Season 5, Episode 14 of it, and it's interesting. We'll talk about it for sure. We'll cover it on there. Sandra is starting Book 4. I believe that's Conquered, Sandra, and I think Books 3 and 4 were some of my favorites until I talked about the different story of where they're at now. But books 3 and 4 and 5 were some of my favorite for a long time. And they're all different, you know, for different reasons. But enjoy Book 4, Sandra. It's definitely a good book. And a lot of good stuff, crazy stuff happens there too. And hopefully you're enjoying them. So she says love them, as in love. Thank you. Appreciate it too. So M King is back in the building for the super chat, top chat, live chat is welcome. M King is doing a top chat here, and he's been one of my book fans for a long time. M King, haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully all is well with you and everybody here. And it's kind of crazy to think that everybody has been coming and going for a long time with this channel, and I truly, truly appreciate it. It means the world to me. It really does, because you choose to be here. You choose to be here. You don't have to be here. Zom666 words. I am Negan. Great. So hopefully Negan is a big part of Season 10. I hope he will. I think he will, and I think it should be awesome for sure. So Slezzle2290 Q&A. Well, why do you think Gimple had a character like Jared survive so long? I don't know. I don't know if it was just Gimple or other writers or what they wanted to do, but that's a good question for Gimple. I wasn't a big fan of Jared. I think Jared is one of the worst characters on The Walking Dead ever. I have to do an updated top 10 list, and Jared will definitely be up there. Jared will definitely be one of my top 3. I don't know. It's one of those things where you keep some annoying characters around to have that big moment when they finally go down, and people are building up and building up and building up. It's just one of those things too. So I think that's what it was, to build up and keep you drawn in to see what happens with that guy too. So Zom666, right? Savior for life. So Saviors, I don't know what's going to happen with the Saviors, because I don't see them ever being rebuilt and coming back around, even though it's a different thing in the comic for sure. But Donna G, hi from Clover, South Carolina. Thank you for the super chat. Donna G. Clover, where's Clover at? Is that near Spartansburg? That's really the only place I know in South Carolina that I was at. Spartansburg, also Charleston, South Carolina on there too. I've just been at both ends of the coast on there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you for the super chat as always. Welcome. Thank you. But Saviors, I don't know what's going on with them. Zom 666. I am a savior from The Walking Dead. So were you a savior? Were you on the show? Because that'd be pretty awesome. And I love talking with people that were on the show, have been on the show, and have been zombies or saviors or extras or whatever they were. And I love to talk about what I've talked with them about, because I have some videos coming up. I posted one yesterday about the tour that I took with Atlanta Movie Tours, and I was in the Morgan's apartment. And that's a cool thing because not everybody can get there. And I wish I could have taken more video. I definitely wish it was one of those things that I could have shown you more of it, but it's one of that they don't want you to record it because they want you to take the tour, and I don't want to mess that up for them. So, but I shared it with you. So, Donna G, about 40 miles from Charlotte. So, is it straight down? Because I know Charlotte's toward around the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. I was actually going to move to Huntersville, which is just north of Charlotte, and I ended up moving back to Tampa Bay. But I love that area on there as well. I want to get up there and see more of it. I've been to Myrtle Beach. But if you follow the book series, a lot of the characters are from North Carolina in the book series too. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to North and South Carolina for sure. Yenzi Q&A, do you think Alpha would get her head cut off just like in the comics? I hope so. And I hope it's actually done by Carol and not Negan in the comics. So I guess I had to put up spoiler warning for the show, comics, all that stuff. But it says spoiler warning in the title. So have to put that in there when people ask a question. I answer it on there too. So I appreciate it. But I personally think that Carol, and I think more people, if Carol kills Alpha, I don't think anyone's going to be like, well, that's stupid. Why did that happen? Well, Alpha has it coming, right? Alpha went and killed Henry and a bunch of other people that Carol knew. People from Alexandria, Hilltop, Ocean. It was just one of those things where you're like, come on. Alpha is picking the fight, bringing the fight to us, and I hope Carol ends the fight. Nothing against Negan, but Negan has no connection with Alpha right now, so I personally hope it's Carol. Who do you guys want to see? Who do you want to see take out Alpha? Because it's going to happen, right? You can't have Alpha live on for that, because that would be a totally different show if the Whisperers win. What if the Whisperers win the Whisperer War, right? That would be kind of crazy. But I don't think that's going to happen, and I personally think Carol would, but who do you think? Who do you think should take out Alpha, and who do you think should take out Beta? M. King, Bry, you already know book news. 10 books available now. I'm going to have a prequel book come out. I'm going for December, right before Christmas time, and we're on track for that. My wife's got to read it. I did my first edit, but it'll connect with the book series, Fight for Us, but it's going to be titled something else, but it will connect, so I should have another book coming up. I would rather you read, a good amount of Fight for Us before you read the first book, the first prequel book, because it would make more sense to you and it would connect the dots with some of the characters from there will be in there, and it's going to connect with some characters, new characters that have been in Fight for Us that will be in that series and so forth. So pretty cool. Rick Grimes, did you note? Oh, where were you at, Rick? I just scrolled on it, but did I notice the A? Did you notice the A in the Maw episode of Fear? Not really, Rick. And to be honest with you, I'm not really seeing that many connections with, Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. But, Ryan Smith, what are all the locations you have been to? Well, I've been to a lot. I've been to Terminus. Well, outside of Terminus. You can't go inside Terminus because it's, private property. I've been outside Alexandria. I've been around Woodbury. I've been to Morgan's apartment. I've been to around there. I've been where the logs were blocking the picture where Aaron saw the guy and was going to shoot down the guy hanging in the logs. And then when they came back with the RV and Negan and stuff, I've been there. A variety of different smaller spots. Right around Alexandria, there's other filming spots where you see Enid's backstory and a bunch of those things too. I've been to the pudding outside of the pudding house, the Claimer house, because they're all right around there. I've been to a lot, and I'll have to make a better video that shows more of the filming sites that I've been to, an updated one for our past couple on there too. So, But thank you guys for joining me and being a part of it. I appreciate it. Where are you at? Someone, Rick Rhymes, who wrote the other thing. PT, did you notice the A in the mall? You're sorry that you were right before. And I'm sorry we're connecting here. It's jumping on me. But sorry, dead air here. So I don't know. I didn't notice it, Rick Rhymes, and to me, I don't really care too much about it because I don't think Fear and The Walking Dead are going to connect that much, that any more than Morgan and Dwight being connected. So let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead season 5, episode 13 a little bit. 14. I keep saying that. Season 5, episode 14. So you're going to see Grace and Daniel. So obviously, spoiler warning, because if you haven't seen the episode, again, I want to make sure that I'm not ruining it for anybody, but it says spoiler warning there too. So I want to talk about season 5, episode 14 of Fear the Walking Dead. So sorry, a bunch of people are posting some great stuff on there too, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here as always. So season 5, episode 14, we're going to meet Grace with Daniel and Skidmark, which is like a terrible name for a cat, Skidmark. It's pretty terrible. And then we have Althea and Morgan, and then a new guy, Tom, who's connected with, I don't know whether to call them pioneers, settlers, or what, but I guess settlers. Let's go with settlers, right? So we'll see Ginny, Virginia. Folks call me Ginny. She going to say that every time? Virginia. Folks call me Ginny every time? Because that's what she says here again, as she said before. But we're going to see Paradise Ridge, which is a condo development building area. And Tom escaped the settlers. And he's trying to go back to see his sister and rescue his sister. And I believe his sister, there's no verification of that, confirmation, but I believe that his sister is the woman that Wes saved, that Strand and Alicia found. And I'm hoping that's the connection there too. They don't say that, but I'm hoping that is because you don't see her in the episode. There's a potential connecting point initially with the settlers and maybe CRM, but then Virginia shuts that down because Althea gets excited about hearing about the future, and this group is building for the future. And turns out that Virginia says, at least, that they're not connected. There is nothing. There's no helicopters. We just got a bunch of gasoline. So either Virginia is lying to Althea and there is a connection, or there is no connection. I'm hoping that there is a connecting point, because why would you just bring CRM there if we're never going to see it again? But, this is Fear the Walking Dead, and the track record hasn't been the best, in my opinion, but I would love to see it, too. So, Sandra says, PT, I liked your alpha impersonation in your video. So, my Boda, I just love how she says, she's like, what'd I tell you about my Boda? We're always watching. And I love Samantha Morton, especially because she liked one of my photos on Instagram. But give her a follow at Samantha Morton. But she seems like a great person, a nice, friendly person on there too. So, but that's a different thing. So, Grace and Daniel are together, and to be honest with you, I liked the episode. I liked season 5, episode 14. I don't think it was slow. I didn't think it was terrible. It connected with the previous episode. I thought it might not, because you don't see, the other people from the oil fields, but they talk about it. They connect it on there too. Morgan setting something up potentially for the next couple episodes. And I do like the possibility of Grace and Morgan getting together, but Grace at the end of it is sick. Well, we know she's sick. She just has some symptoms. And it's sad because I said it in the video when Morgan left Grace, we all probably had to think that Morgan and Grace are never going to be together now. Grace is going to end up getting sick and probably dying, and it's going to be too late when Morgan's finally going to come around. I said that a couple weeks ago. It looks to be happening potentially next episode, because the episode ends with Morgan, Althea, and Tom putting gas in the truck and probably going to meet Daniel and Grace, who are in a bar outside 290, or the road 290, and that's it. That's how it ends. But no Boyd, no Alicia, no Strand, no Wes, no anybody from the oil fields. And that's kind of what the episodes have been. This group, that group. These people, this people. Little than last week, a lot of people came together, but it was like Charlie and John and June going to meet the rabbi, and a little bit of Sarah in this, but then Morgan and Strand and Alicia are together, and then Morgan and Althea are together. So it's kind of split up, and I would assume by the last two episodes, because we only have 2 episodes left, right? So 2 episodes left, everybody's got to come together. I would assume something big is going to happen to set up season 6 is what they're saying. And I don't know if it's going to be with the Settlers, with CRM, with our group, with what it is, but it's going to be over before you know it, and it's interesting there too, so for sure. So hold on, let me just get rid of this person. So it's funny because I post a question and a discussion video, and people are crying about it here. That's what people love to do. They love to come in here and say it in a live stream. So I've learned my lesson before. Just going to hide their comments and get rid of them. And that's it. I'm not going to, that's what it is. They're trolls. They just bait it. Baiter's going to bait, So it's a good episode, in my opinion. The biggest episode of the season. Not really. I'm not sure if it's ever going to be huge, if it's going to be great. So I do like Virginia as a villain, even though her voice is too much over the top. It's like a cartoon character. It reminds me of Jim Carrey in The Mask. You'll see in tonight's episode, if you haven't seen it already, her personality is just so big. She's just like too much, right? And she's just too over the top, kind of like Jim Carrey is. Like, you'll see how she talks, and she's like, "Need I say better? My name's Virginia. They call me Jenny. Apricot or strawberry?" And then Morgan and Althea are like, "We don't even know you. And you're coming over here and asking us like dumb questions, theoretically? Oh, let's back up a little bit. I should have started with this." And it's like she's just too over the top. And you can see, that's a great way, big, sexy, over animated. She is. I would call it overacting, like Jim Carrey is, but it's kind of funny when it's in Jim Carrey movies like Liar Liar and Ace Ventura and all that stuff. But here, it just comes off as like too much. But I don't know. But she's definitely a villain. She has something to hide. She has definitely something that if you're not with her, you're against her. And there's something more to the character, and it has me intrigued. And you can't have a worse villain than Martha, in my opinion. That character just was like not believable. It was just kind of dumb, but we'll see what happens. But Virginia is over the top. So meet Virginia. Mario the Third Q&A, Bri. Do you think we will get a CRM? You get CRM in the finale? I think they're foreshadowed that a lot. I hope so. If they don't, what was the point of bringing it up in the first episode? And like the 4th or 5th episode, whatever the Althea episode was. And you're like, why would you bring that up if there's no connecting point again in this season and if Fear the Walking Dead on the road, right? I mean, come on. I just asked that question because I want there to be. I just want the show to connect more, give us more, connect to the universe more. It's just frustrating at times. And some people call it hating. I call it discussing and being a fan. And I just want it to be just better. I don't know how else to say it. Lincoln Q&A, Daniel Endgame Gold. Do you think him and Luciano will take on a father-daughter relationship? I don't think so. They haven't really ever interacted. I think more of a Charlie. I think you'll see tonight that he actually gets records, Daniel, and he wants to play the records for Charlie. And I think he sees more of a father-daughter role with Charlie because for some reason we saw that before in the warehouse. But I asked you the question, why did they leave that warehouse? Or that plot of land that Daniel had. He had a lot of guns, a lot of food, a lot of stuff there. Man, they should have just never left that spot. Why did they leave them all? Because next week's episode, you're going to see the running out of food, the running out of water. The convoy is there too, but that's like pretty terrible. All you had was gasoline. And now that Logan's gone, what's going to happen there too? And I guess they're going to have to make a deal with Virginia to get food and water to keep people alive, or something's got to happen, because if they can't provide enough food and water for these people are going to start dying. And it doesn't matter if you have all the gas in the world if you don't have enough water to drink and food to eat. It just doesn't make sense too. So Epic Zombie Killer. Hey, Brian, this second half has been okay. I'm just more excited for The Walking Dead to return. That's not really a cute has. Some people love it, and they stick up for it no matter what. Like it's their child. Even if they have a bad kid, they're like, I'm going to stick up for them no matter what. You know those type of parents, right? But Fear the Walking Dead is definitely something that it's something to cover and fill the void of the Walking Dead storyline. I would assume if Fear the Walking Dead had a different name, like the zombie series or whatever, people wouldn't watch it as much as they do. Because it has The Walking Dead in the name, has it going for it. That'll give you 1 million viewers right there. Just because The Walking Dead, something to watch. Summer shows are pretty weak in my opinion. It's an easier it's an easier gap to watch in the summer than during the fall and the winter shows. But I just don't think it's ever going to be the best series ever, and I'm okay with that. I'm not saying it is, but people are like, you're too hard on this, and you're that, and you're this. All right, great, but I'm real with it. If I think things are cheesy, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to be those fake people. You know those people in reaction videos where they're like, he fell in the pool. Oh, my goodness. You know, like they're so over-the-top crazy. I can do that, too. I can watch a show and be like, Morgan, you're in the pool. How are you safe? Like, ridiculous. Just ridiculous. It's just overacting. It's just made for views and stuff on there, too. Or you can be, like, fake positive. Like, everything is great. Fear the Walking Dead is great. The show is great. The writing's great. This is great. That's great. Everything's great. I love all the characters. No. Like, that's just not me. Sorry. I just can't do that. I'm not fake. I'm not phony. I'm real deal. How it comes that it is. Whether you like it or not, hopefully you respect it. And I think everybody in here does. I think everybody does. I think everybody likes truth, real for that. Sure, if you like escapism and just over the top being dramatic, and that's okay sometimes too, right? But that's just not me. I just can't be fake. I don't know. Like I just don't know how to do. Also, have you guys seen the ads? Maybe you can watch it too. I think on YouTube, there's a link or something you can watch the pilot episode of Prodigal Son. That has Tom Payne in it, who played Jesus on the show. He's like a detective, the son of a serial killer. It's on Fox. And I think you can watch the first episode on YouTube, and it's going to be on Fox coming up pretty soon. And I met Tom Payne a couple times, and he's an awesome dude. We actually share the same birthday, and it's always pretty cool to see the Walking Dead family do bigger and bigger things. Some people I'm more, rooting for than others, but the Walking Dead family is big. Also, Denai Guerrera and Lupita Nyong'o, they have a series on HBO Max that got picked up. I believe that Denai Guerrera it's her show. She's writing it, she's producing it, she's doing everything. I'm not sure if she's going to star in it or whatever. She's going to be in it too, but I believe it's her show on HBO Max, which I believe is a streaming service. And that's pretty awesome. So she's doing, bigger and bigger things. So hopefully she'll be able to get into the Walking Dead movies still. I hope that's a possibility because she's going to be done on the show this season, which sucks. And that's my girl, and that's my favorite character. But I'm still going to watch to the end. I'm not going to be one of those people, when it came out last season at Comic-Con, last July, and Rick was like, this is my last time. This is my last season. I'm done. And people were like, if Rick's gone, I'm gone. I'm not watching the show without Rick. No Rick Grimes, no me. Come on. The Walking Dead is not one character. It's not one person. It's just like, come on. It's a good show, a great show coming back again. Season 9 was very good. Season 10 should be awesome. But, of course, we're going to miss Rick. I miss Rick on the show, but I'm still going to watch. I'm going to miss Michonne. I'm still going to watch. And I love both of those characters, but the show must go on, right? So, sorry, there was a question about on Netflix, Island. I have not seen that. Where was that? It's on Netflix, I believe. Yeah, Big Sexy. Have you watched The Island, or I guess it's Island or Island on Netflix? I have not. Is it good? Is it something to check out? I actually watched, it's kind of sad that I'm going to say this, but my wife and I watched Dead 7, which is terrible, by the way. But it's got all the boy band members in it, like Joey Fatone and Nick Carter and AJ and Howie and all these people on there too. And it is terrible. It was written by Nick Carter, and it's just over the top terrible. It's just like, man, but we watched that last night. It was on Amazon Prime. And I was like, I guess we'll watch this, right? So it's pretty terrible. Boyd Q&A, do you think Morgan could have been bit in the mall episode and will be revealed in the finale? After watching this episode, Morgan's definitely not bit because he's doing some big things here. And if he was bit, he would not be able to do half of the things he did in this episode if he was bit and slowing down. And there's no sign of that too. Also, Morgan talks about Dwayne and Jenny, his wife and son, and he does talk about past tense. And I think the whole thing was he wasn't accepting the fact that Dwayne was gone, that his wife was gone. And in this episode, he really has. So hopefully the debate of Dwayne being gone finally will end. But, that's just what people do on the internet. They talk about a lot of things. So I don't get it. I don't get why people think Dwayne's still alive and this person's still alive and that person did this. And, it just doesn't make sense. But, it's just something, if we don't see it, then people can still have that way out to talk about it. So I just hope we get to see Sherry in the finale. I really hope that, makes sense for it because they've been building up for it for a long time. And I just hope that makes sense for it. And it's rewarding because there's nothing worse on a TV show or books or anything or movies where you invest all your time, that you're looking at it and you're building it up and there's a thing here and there's like, okay, still waiting for this, still waiting. Still waiting. And then 4 or 5 episodes, 6 episodes, half a season, and you're like, still waiting. You're like, come on, let's just get this answered. I need to move on with this, and it's a TV show and it's not real life and whatever. But we invest our time, energy, effort, emotions to these characters on this show. And yes, they're not real, but that becomes our world, The Walking Dead and hopefully Fight for Us and all this stuff. It's like, let's get into that world and be there too, So I'm interested in a lot of things coming together, and I hope that Sherry and Dwight come together. And I don't even care that much about it, but it's a plot hole that needs to be there, it needs to be, answered. And I don't even care that much about Sherry and her Dwight, but it's still something I think would be good for the show. And I hope Sherry is in one of those settlements, the settler settlements. I just hope she's there somewhere and we find out, and then pick up in season 6. And then Walking Dead's back too. So Mario the Third Q&A, Bri, episode 15 promo looks like season 2 finale with Luciana and Nick, and a minute after they all almost got killed. Could this be again same ending in a nutshell? Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on next episode. In the promo, you could see that the group runs out of gas and they can't do this, and it probably is. It probably is. The show does a lot of things similar to itself. It's not that revolutionary. The writing, they kind of reuse story arcs and storylines too. So it could be like the end of season 2. I just hope they get somewhere. I hope they find a settlement somewhere too. Gary Page Q&A, do you watch Westworld? I've watched season 1 and season 2, and I'm excited for season 3 because Aaron Paul is going to be in that, and I'm excited for him in that show, and also the movie, Breaking Bad movie, El Camino, that'll be out on October 11th. So, cool. So, Mary. Yeah. Sorry, Mary. I was just talking about, I think the plot hole. She asked, hey, Bryce, so sorry I'm late. Thanks for all your great videos. And what the plot hole? So the plot hole, I was just talking about just different things when they don't get things answered. But I think the biggest plot hole would be if Sherry doesn't come around. I hope CRM comes around and Sherry comes back around too. Also, one of the cooler things in the episode, it's a smaller thing. It's that Morgan's stick, his bow staff, gets fixed by a woodworker in the Paradise Ridge place where Jenny and her people are, and it's pretty awesome. It's cool. It's got like a spear tip. It's got, it's sharpened on the one end, and it's like, all right, back to the way it was. You just got to put some polish on it and some lacquer and some, stain on it to make it look awesome. But it's kind of cool. It's a nice little moment. It's not the biggest moment by any means, but it's pretty cool. So my man Chris snuck in here too. So hopefully you guys are checking out the book series. And I have to say that some people in this chat right here, are in the story, loosely based in the fictional story of Fight For Us, and it's pretty awesome too. So I got some stuff I'm going to probably start when I finish the prequel of the book series. I'm going to finish that, wrap it up, get it into the publisher, and then we'll have it available to buy. And then I'm going to start writing book 11. Book 11 will be titled Access, and I'm very excited to put it. I already have some ideas. I already have a bunch of stuff ready to go for it. I just got to put it down for it, and I hope to have that out, definitely next year, early next year. By this pace, I'm hoping to get 2 books out a year. I'll be happy with that. Maybe 3 at the most. But before, I used to rush it, and I was like rushing it to get it out, and that's where the stuff, went bad because I didn't edit it enough. I didn't take enough time to edit it. I was like, write, get the story, write it, all the story, and then get it out, and then because people were excited to read it. And then the editing took a hit. Now I had to take my time, slow it down, and be there too. So I went back and I fixed, I would say like 99% of the errors. Maybe there's a couple left in there, but very small amount. And I just want to have it be, a big thing that they're done right. And it's there too, because there's a person on there that read the early versions of them, and they wrote disrespectful and rude reviews on there, and I think he only read a couple books, and so then he stopped reading them on there too and was on there. It was pretty annoying that the person had good things to say to me on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, but then went behind my back and wrote pretty mean, bad reviews in there too, like to hurt the brand, and I could understand somewhat, but it was just kind of annoying. So it's just frustrating for it. But yeah, I'm going to have more books. Don't worry, guys. I have definitely big books coming in. I'm going to have at least 10 more books of the Fight For Us series. I'm going to have at least 3 books from the prequel series. And then I'm going to possibly branch out with different areas of the zombie apocalypse of Fight For Us in maybe different cities, states, or countries too. So pretty awesome too. So Jane says, "Can I be a walker when you make your first movie?" I don't call them walkers. I call them zombies. But no, I'm not hating on you. I just have to clarify that because Walking Dead has walkers. Robert Kirkman has walkers. I have zombies. It's a big difference on there too. But if I get stuff made and there is a show and or movie and or that too, I would definitely love to have majority of the people in here that could be a part of it, just to be whatever. There would be definitely awesome things. As people that have been there, I would definitely have people involved with it. That would just be awesome for sure. So, John Graham, hey, Bri, how far into Fight For Us should we read before the prequel book? You don't have to actually read that far into Fight For Us to read the first prequel book, but you have to meet certain characters. And I can't remember when you get to meet some of them, but I would start with the book series Fight For Us and then go back and read the prequel series. It's kind of like watching, well, in a better way, in my opinion, watching Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then watching episodes 1, 2, and 3. Go watch 4, 5, and 6 first, and then go back and watch 1, 2, and 3, same kind of way too. So I would definitely start with the Fight For Us book series before you read that. Or, I mean, you can get around book 6. You would have to read at least the first couple books, 4 or 5 of Fight For Us before you would really, and you could read the prequel series and you wouldn't be lost, but it would make more sense. It would be more rewarding to do it that way too. But when in doubt, I would I would read the original series as well too. Sandra, I definitely know you're definitely awesome. You're definitely my number one fighter, and you're definitely a person that does awesome reviews for me, and I truly appreciate that. That helps out a lot because it helps build the case to get 4, 5-star reviews, to have reviews so people look at that and also get more notoriety too. I would assume better reviews have it come up for more people to get witness of it. And also, if there's a good review on it, like any product, whether you're buying a phone case or a television or a piece of electronics or a table or something, if it's got good reviews, you'll probably read it, right? And that's the kind of the goal out there too, because I don't have a marketing department and an advertising department and all this stuff out there. It's just me and an online publisher that prints it for me, and I make the covers and I write it and I do that stuff too, and I make the t-shirts and I do all that, and it's something that is by myself. If I had a company that could help me out, I can hopefully reach more and more people, and that's the goal. And word of mouth is some of the best things there is, and you guys doing everything that you're doing now, that helps out a lot, and I truly appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me, just M King and Mary and Sandra and Jane and Chris and everybody that's checking out the book series. It means a lot to me too. So it does help out a lot, and it keeps me going too. People, haters are going to try to knock you down always, right? But it's not how hard you get knocked down. It's how you get up and keep pushing forward. Rocky says that in Rocky Balboa, and that's the truth. It's the truth. Life's going to knock you down. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows, kid. You know that. But it's how you get up from the adversity and all that stuff, and how you can keep pushing forward. And I have definitely not had the easiest life in my life, but I'm still here, and I'm doing good things and big things for it. And at the end of the day, you got to be a fighter for sure too. So, but Gary, Q&A, do you think, oh, my bad. Sorry, when I do that, it just switches on me. Do you think they will end Fear the Walking Dead? Do you think they come the same of them in the main show to replenish the main characters? I personally hope that Fear the Walking Dead merges with Walking Dead in the show, but not on the show. They're going to the movies to go break Rick Grimes out of CRM or the prison or the location or the whatever they are. They come together, they work together, and they take out the people that have Rick Grimes locked up. And why can't Rick get out? Our group's going to go find out, and they break Rick out. That would be pretty awesome for sure. So, Lincoln, if you want to be in the Fight For Us series, there's definitely a way too. It's on Patreon. We can work something out, and I know the top tier donation is booked, but there's a smaller one that we can work on something with that too, or just let me know. We can make it happen to be in it. And I would like to have, it's just, if you get too many people in it, it waters down the story too much. I have too many characters in there too, and some people are already kind of hard on the book because there's a lot of characters and a lot of different communities and a lot of different there too, but I think they're essential to the story, and I think that it makes sense. And I think it flows very well, too. I think it's pretty cool. Mary, do you think any of Fear the Walking Dead will go to the movie? I hope so. I would love to see Morgan. I would love to see John. I would love to see, I guess, June, Althea, and Daniel would be awesome. But I don't know what Daniel's end game is. I think that it's, I don't know what's going to happen with Daniel. Even though Daniel's one of my favorite characters. But I would love to see that happen, for sure. Big Sexy, I'd like to see a 1,200-page novel get busy. Well, that would be pretty crazy. That my books are usually about 200 and some pages, so that's like six books of mine. Sorry, I can't speak. But 1,200 pages, that's a lot. That's a lot. There's my girl, Whitney. She says, I absolutely love your book series, and thank you, Whitney. I appreciate it on there, too. So I'm excited for... I don't want to give too much away, but I'm excited for people that are in the book series that haven't read their parts yet, that want to get in there, and I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for it, and I love the input from people, and I can always use the input. Maybe I can't do everything the person wants for their character, but I like the idea of that too. And I like that because everybody likes a zombie apocalypse show for different reasons. They like it for survival. They like it for horror. They like it for the good versus the bad, the walkers, the zombies, the whatever you call them, the environment, the cure aspect too. So I know I saw a question before. I'm sorry if I missed it, about the cure aspect. I think the cure aspect is a good aspect too. I definitely will have that in the series. I don't know if it's going to be the end game. I don't know if it's going to succeed or fail or what, but you got to stay tuned to find out, because rebuilding the world is important, but sometimes the damage is done. And why is this occurring? Why did this occur? Is sometimes more important for things on there too. So, my man Eddie Pizzle. But I just like the idea of having a zombie apocalypse show, series, story, because it's a survival, fighting, never giving up. What is the goal in a zombie apocalypse? Walking Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, surviving, staying alive, fighting, and getting back to the basics. We don't care about our phones if we don't have water and food and shelter and weapons and a place to stay. We don't care about Wi-Fi and all that crap. We care about stuff of getting back to basics: food, water, oxygen, shelter, being around the people you care about, right? For sure. So I definitely agree, Jane. You need a t-shirt for the PT fighters. I'm definitely going to come up with that. I'm thinking that I want to get a person to make them for me. It's just like the sizes are the problem, because some people are mediums, some people are larges, some people are extra larges. And when you put an order in, they just want to make all mediums, so they want to make this. So I definitely want to make something, because I do like the custom ink, but they have their limitations on what you can put on there and stuff there too. But I got to get to a t-shirt vendor, and I got to do something better than that too. And I got to be able to have something, and maybe I'll find someone local and then make it, and then be able to ship it on there too. So, yeah. So, yeah, Tom, I got your point, but ultimately that was way back in the day. And if someone supported me the way they did, they were supposed to support. They said they were going to do some things, and they went back against their word and whatever too. So I'm not going to get into that. It's great. The editing is good right now, and it's finding a good process. So I'm not upset about certain things. It's just how it was handled, and the reviews are what they are. And since then, it's been changed, and the editing is great. And I do what I do, baby, and hopefully you support us and stop saying the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again too. So hopefully you can just have it where you support it on there too. So I appreciate it. But yeah, exactly, Chris. Custom ink is too pricey, so I'm trying to come up with something on there to get it done. So I'll have to try Teespring, Bennett. I'll have to look into that. Benedict Arnold, great. I have to try Teespring or a couple other things. It's just tough because of the different sizes too. So see, Boyd is like, you have to pick on the different sizes, because a lot of times they run smaller or larger on there too. But there's a great company called Creative Parties, and they go to different conventions, and I bought some of their shirts, and their quality's really good. They definitely have a good thing for the softness of the shirt too. So I'll have to check something out. I definitely like the idea of having something for, to support the channel and to come back, and everything comes back for it too. But so say I got to buy, 500 shirts, and they're $10 each, that's $5,000. And then you're having to sell all 500. And how high can you have the shirt for, to sell it at a profit, but you don't want to outprice it for people. You want to have a shirt that's like $15, but I don't know. I have to come up with something that's pretty cool that everybody can have, and can sell a lot of them too. So, but thank you, Michelle. Hey, PT, I love your videos. They are so good. Appreciate it. It's been like Lynette, and only with a B. Sorry, sorry, Bennett Arnold. Sorry, I thought it was going like Benedict Arnold, like trying to be funny. But maybe sorry if your name is Bennett Arnold. But I'm sorry, sorry about that. But yeah, I'll have to find out with something for you guys and for everybody there too. And the biggest thing is if we can just get the Patreon rolling and this going and that going, we can all come back to that, and we can get this brand rolling and fight for us, and we'll have all the different things too. Like, I like the idea of having like paperweights, or like the letter opener with Ryan's machete or something. It'd be his katana. It'd be kind of cool. I think I have ideas. I just don't have the wherewithal. I'm like the idea guy. I have ideas and inventions and ideas. It's just I just don't know how to produce them. I don't have the connections and a printing press and all that stuff. It's kind of crazy. But sorry, I saw a question here. Chris, you are better off a machine to make your own t-shirts. Yeah, buying a machine. See, that's what I got to do, man. See, Chris, I gotta get in there. I gotta find it on there as well. But maybe down the road, that's for sure. For it, Sandra, thank you for the support. PT peeps for life. That's for sure, guys. So hopefully you guys like the being called a PT peep, and that's kind of like my loving way of saying, my peeps, my people, my family, my people that support me, and I support you guys, and I do that as well. So I got a couple things coming from a couple other subscribers that I have. My friend Sean Spencer, he's working on a video game that I'm going to make a video on that too. He's going to have a Kickstarter coming up in January. I'll talk about that, and if you guys have something or calls for, I definitely like the idea to have you guys be a part of it. And if there's anything that's important to you guys, this is a community and a family and a group, and I'll always put that out there in a shout out, and all you just got to tell me about it. Like the people that support me from day to end, and people have been good. You don't have to even support financially at all. You can just tell me that there's a cause or something, and I'll mention it in a lot of videos, that's for sure, just because that's the right thing to do. But yeah, Big Sexy, I want to make a hat, and I have the idea for a hat that just has like a PT or maybe Fight For Us or something, or a good logo. But hats are expensive, like they really are. Like I had like the idea for like a trucker hat, and they were trying to make people, custom ink is the thing I was using it for, but hats would be something like that as well, and maybe a PT on the side or something there too, or something. I like the idea of incorporating a katana or a machete or something in there. I just think it would be pretty sweet for it. It'd be pretty awesome for it. Chris writes, I had a friend that had a machine. He made me hats and shirts and hoodies that had a shark on it, and above it was Jaws Jr. Pretty cool. Jaws Jr. in the house, Hopefully you guys know who Jaws Jr. is. If you don't, definitely just keep reading. I don't want to give too much away, but, it's pretty cool. You get to meet some of these characters. Like I said, some of the characters in the book are in here right now, or the fictional, loosely based, stuff on there for sure. John Graham, hey, Bri, what about the new teaser trailer for The Whisperers? Did you think it was cheesy, the whole alpha beta dynamic? Let me clarify that, the cheesy aspect. I didn't think that the trailer, the teaser was cheesy. What I did think of was the alpha beta holding hands and looking at each other and be like, we are free, or whatever they say. And it's like, do you really have to hold hands? Are you together? Are you in a relationship? Are you husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend? It just kind of seemed like they're going to bust out in song and dance and just dance around a little bit and be like, what are you doing here? So it was interesting. I'm like, man. But if you think about it, the whisperer dynamic is like, okay, so if I went and just put a mask on that was supposed to look like a walker or a zombie, what's stopping that zombie from knowing I'm a person? My clothes? They bite people all the time who are wearing long clothes, but they don't have a mask on, right? Is it really something that maybe the walkers don't smell the whisperers because they stink so bad? I don't know, but I just brought up the point. I wasn't saying that the whisper idea is like really stupid. The only thing I said was cheesy was the whole alpha and beta standing, looking at each other like they're in a Disney movie. But I don't know. King of Hearts, you should get a proper publisher because self-published books are not respected in the industry. Well, that's a shame because they kind of should be, because not everybody has the connecting point too. Like there's an artist that makes albums now, and she's one of the biggest artists out there. And her story, as far as I read, is that she wanted to make records. She wanted to make songs. She wanted to make albums. She wanted to make, be a musician. And she went to different music artists and music industries, and they were trying to tell her to do this, do that, and she didn't want to do it. She was like, no, I want to own my rights. I want to own what I do. I want to do what I do. And she went around and she said, nope, I'm going to do it myself. Went it the hard way, and she did it that way. And I believe that artist, that singer, is Taylor Swift to this day. And she owns a lot of her stuff, and she's had something to do with there. But I believe that's kind of what it was, that I was like, man, that's kind of interesting that you can own stuff too. So I think having a publisher would help out a lot. I've been looking for a literary agent, but the literary agents online don't really get back to you and do all that. But I think having a publisher is the way to go. I just don't have the connections. I just don't know the right people. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm trying to figure that out as we go. But I'm just trying to write the story to get it out there too, because I think it's a great story. And I think everybody that's enjoying it agrees with me too. So, but yeah, see, everyone's got ideas, and I do too. Beer mugs, coffee mugs too, and sippy cups. Yeah, I just love the idea of branding and marketing it out there too. And I like the idea of having little products and shirts and things, and like having even little like onesie things for kids. It's kind of interesting, but I just think it's cool that you guys enjoy the series and dig the series, and that's what it would be. So I don't know, down the road, maybe I take the story of Fight for Us off of, independent publishing, and I get it republished by publishers and stuff, because I have all the story. I have it all in document form on there too. I just can get it sent out and get it going. But I do agree to have a publisher and a marketer and all that stuff would be the way to go. I just have to find that and get it done. So if you guys know anybody, that would be pretty. Sandra wrote, onesies for little booty kickers. That's for sure, right? That's funny. I like the idea of having it out there too. And it makes sense because there are some babies in the story. There are, animals in the stories. There's different there too. And I believe like a zombie apocalypse should have a dog like right away in the story. And, if you read the story, you'll know who the dog is. Or dogs. There's a couple different dogs. But I'm excited to find out what you guys think of the story going forward. The Walking Dead will be here before you know it. And it's just kind of interesting because the idea of Fear the Walking Dead ending and The Walking Dead starting is awesome. And I just wish Fear was a little bit better in all departments. But the episode tonight is still pretty good. I think the idea is pretty interesting for the story in tonight's episode. Some people hate it. Some people thought it was good. Some people thought it was a great episode. I thought it was okay. I'll have a review tonight on it. I'll be able to talk more in depthly about it. And I like Daniel. Morgan's pretty good in it. I do like the idea of Grace and Morgan, something happening there. But we'll see. And hopefully you've seen the first couple minutes, the opening minutes of the episode. That's on the Walking Dead's Facebook or YouTube page. You'll see Morgan being interviewed by Althea. And then you can see another episode or another clip of it. And you'll see Tom. You'll meet Tom as a new character that he escaped and left the settlers. And it's pretty cool. So. But I appreciate you guys taking the time. Also, I want to finish the live stream on this. Sorry, I was reading some of the comments and I'm not sure what Jay is saying there. But yeah, so she's singing 1 minute and next she's dying. So you'll see what happens with Grace. We don't really see that, but it's in there too as well. So, but the idea, there was a thing on AMC's Talking Dead Instagram page. And it was interesting because they had asked the questions to the showrunners. And they're like, what questions do you have for the questions? Or what questions do you have for the showrunners? And people, I think it was on Instagram, and people were going off on them. And I was going to bring it up and do a video on it. But it was the wrong thing to do. Like, what questions do you have for the showrunners? And man, people were going off. They're like, why did you kill the show? Why are you terrible? When are you going to bring Dave Erickson back? When are you going to make a better show? When are you going to get fired? When are you going to do this? And you're like, oh my God, it was terrible. It was terrible. Man, I couldn't believe some of the stuff people were commenting to the showrunners and Talking Dead on Instagram. I'm not sure if it's still up or what, but I'm like, well, I have some problems with the show and some, aspects of the show that I don't really like, but you got these two are human beings, and I would never want to disrespect these people. I would never be like, you're terrible, you're horrible, you're the worst people ever, quit your day job, you don't know what you're doing, like. And I'm sure people were getting, whatever, and then some people were write like a good question, like, what was it like writing season 5 or whatever? But the next questions were so terrible. I was like, man, that was crazy to just be like, man, these people don't care. They don't care what they're going to say, how they're going to say, what feelings they're going to hurt or whatever. Maybe they're pissed. Maybe they're trolling. Maybe they're legit questions. But man, it totally backfired. Because usually if someone's coming on, they're like, okay, we're going to have, more Lenny James coming on. What questions do you have? We may ask your question to them. Nobody would ask, like, why are you a terrible actor? Why did you leave this? Why are you doing that? Like, at least I never saw that. But the questions were just terrible. It was just, like, almost mean. It was almost, like, downright mean. And I don't agree with that, but I had to laugh because I'm like, man, people really hate on these showrunners and this show really bad. And I kind of felt bad for them a little bit. Boy, do you think the Settlers could be cannibals, too? I don't know. That would be kind of off topic. Could be, but I just don't think it's one of those things that I really would want to see. They're trying to rebuild for the future, and if they were, they probably just would have killed all the people and, cooked them up instead of trying to let them be, because like when Terminus people, they were going to capture you and then cut you up and cook you. I just don't get that vibe there, but you never know. Jane, like Dave, she went off topic. She said, but I went to Dave Matthews Winery, Blenheim in Charlottesville yesterday. Cool. Is like Dave Matthews like the singer? Like, what would you do? Or what would you say? I can't remember what he actually says there. But I was like, burn, 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 burn. Dave Matthews, like the actual band. Pretty cool. Murph. The Dirty Kenzo. It's so funny, some of these names, guys. You're pretty hilarious with some of the names on there, too. So, but yeah, Scott Gimple is definitely to blame for some of it. I mean, for sure. That's just, he's part of that. He's the overseer of all things Walking Dead. So it's just one of those things, too, guys. So I appreciate it. Just to recap the Season 5, Episode 14 tonight, we're going to see Morgan and Althea and newcomer Tom, who's from Paradise Ridge, where Ginny or Virginia, folks call me Ginny, is staying. Then we're going to see, sorry, I'm blanking on the names. Daniel and Grace, they're working together. Their transmission breaks down on the truck, and they have to go somewhere. The whole thing with the records is kind of cheesy. You should have just left the records in the truck, but you'll see that he takes the records with him. They get ruined. It's kind of sad because Daniel wants to play the records for Charlie and to keep people around. But how are you going to play the records? I guess he didn't want people to steal them because they leave the truck. Grace gets sick at the end of the episode. Morgan and Virginia meet. Althea gets to keep her tapes. She finds out some information about them. It's initially thought that the connection between CRM and Ginny, trying to just bring supplies back. I don't think she's a hoarder, but as far as Daniel's gotten soft, well, a little soft, but Daniel's just kind of forming connection with people. Before he wanted to be left alone, and now he's trying to bond with everybody too. Virginia's a little over the top, and overall, it's an entertaining episode. We get to find a little bit more about Virginia. Virginia's over-the-top acting is still there. Her accent's still there. And it's, I don't know. I just want it kind of resolved. And it was interesting, too. So Chris says, Grace was just singing It's All Right. Grace and Daniel sing, and it's a nice little moment. But it's what the Walking Dead universe has there. And I believe that Daniel is eating a Twinkie. Is that a shout out to Zombieland? Could be. Or maybe just a coincidence that they found a Twinkie. And we'll see what happens. But no Alicia, no Strand, no Wes, no Charlie, no Rabbi, no John, no June, no a lot of characters. It's kind of the catch-up episode for, Morgan and Althea and Virginia. And Morgan meets Virginia. So we'll see what happens. Overall, decent episode. We'll talk about it in my review later today. I made a video that I'll probably post on Monday or later this week about how to walk like a walker, how to walk like a Walking Dead walker. So it's pretty cool, and it's a little video that I had for a while that I'm trying to clear stuff out on my hard drive because I'm running out of space, and I found this little video of one of the actresses who was a walker on the show kind of demonstrate how to actually be a walker correctly on the show, and it's pretty cool. And then I talk about it a little bit more with some other different things. So thank you, Donna G and Sandra, for the super chats. I truly appreciate it. Thank you guys all for taking the time to be here. I appreciate you taking the time and being part of our awesome Walking Dead community, a PT Peep, a Walking Dead family member, and a fighter. And hopefully you'll check out the book series if you haven't already. Jane, the word on Zombieland 2, or Zombie 2, I guess you're asking about what's the word on Zombie 2, Zombieland 2. It should be coming out next month, so I'm excited for that. I'm definitely going to watch Zombieland 2. I'm excited for that. You know, El Camino on Netflix and a bunch of things too. So Faith is a character that may be coming around in the Fight For Us series, and I'm excited to have, you know, that new character coming around. We got some big things going around. We're going to come up with some new stuff coming up, and I'm excited for it. So hopefully you guys will check out the Fight For Us series on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. If anything, you just search my name, which is on the bottom of the books in the picture. But Fight For Us doesn't always bring up every book that way, but you can check out, just put in my name in there in the search, and it brings up some of my physical therapy books too that I wrote, but also the Fight For Us series. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. I got to go watch some football, do some laundry on there too. But as always, guys, remember, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, staying true to yourself, and enjoy tonight's episode. If you haven't seen it, check out the review later today. And thank you. See you guys.